I don't see, if this is so egregious, then the punishment really should match the crime and have her ordered to be struck 17 times with the same leash that she struck the dog with.
Today's case comes straight out of San Antonio, Texas, and it's one that's left animal lovers across the country furious. 24-year-old Havanna Dejonet Miller, once just another face in the crowd, found herself standing before a judge after a video of her went viral for all the wrong reasons. In the disturbing clip, Miller can be seen on her apartment balcony repeatedly striking her 3-month-old toy poodle with a leash. According to police, she hit the tiny dog, named Thanos, at least 15 times before letting him go, only to hit him again. As the helpless puppy cried, Miller is heard calling him a bad boy and telling him to shut up. The footage spread across social media like wildfire, and it didn't take long for the authorities to step in. The apartment's management staff contacted police immediately. An arrest affidavit was filed, and investigators confirmed what the video clearly showed, a deliberate act of cruelty. Miller was arrested and charged with cruelty to non-livestock animals. Her case landed in front of State District Judge Stephanie Boyd.
Could I have parties announced?
Lauren Espinoza for the state.
Jody Sawyers and Jared Hall for defendant Havanna Miller.
And are you Havanna Miller?
Yes.
You're charged with cruelty to non-livestock animal as a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we were scheduled for a jury today. There was a jury in the hallway. The court released the jurors after the party said that you all have reached an agreement and are asking the court to accept your agreement. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, defense?
Yes.
Right. So, Ms. Miller, there was a jury in the hallway waiting to come into court. You would have a chance to have the state call their witnesses once the jury was selected. Your attorney would have a chance to cross-examine those witnesses. Did you understand that? And are you giving up that right to a jury trial?
Yes.
All right. According to the plea again, the state is asking that your punishment again be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state is going to be opposed to your application for deferred adjudication. So what that means is they're saying they do not want you to have deferred adjudication. They are in agreement to your being granted community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes.
So what that means, if the court were to deny your application for deferred adjudication, but if the court were to grant your application for community supervision, then the court will have followed your plea bargain agreement. Do you understand? Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
That is correct.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yeah. So that's like, I apologize. Maybe I missed that in the paragraph, Your Honor. But my understanding, what I explained to her was that any of motions that we filed and had heard, the motion to quash, the evidentiary motions and stuff like that, those are not being waived because we had a ruling, we haven't waived those. Okay. But those have not been waived. Right. So,
all right. So this is what I'm saying. So this is what I need everybody to do. Listen to me closely. Did you sign in both places here the waiver of appeal paragraph?
yes.
By signing that, this is what it means. You're waiving your right to appeal. The only thing that can be appealed would be any pretrial motions that have been filed, that have been heard by the court and ruled upon. Do you understand?
I do.
All right. Have there been any such motions?
Yes.
All right. Now, outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 10 years. They're asking that there be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, the MRT, anger management, no pets during probation, field visits, 180-day jail sanction. Do you understand? Those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So Those recommendations are not a part of your plea bargain agreement. They're just recommendations. So when you're looking at this plea bargain page, everything above this line, that's your plea bargain agreement. Everything below where it says waiver of appeal paragraph, those are just recommendations.
Okay.
So if the court were to follow your agreement and grant your application for probation, or either grant your application for deferred adjudication, the court is the only person that can give your conditions. So for example, the state is requesting 10 years probation. That's how long they're asking that your probation be for, 10 years. All of these conditions that are below this line, those are recommendations. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections.
Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. If you would like for a PSI and a TAP evaluation, that's 12 weeks. Or if you would like to just reset it and bring witnesses, we can have it brought sooner.
I believe the 12 weeks, if we can do that, to have a full assessment for the court. And then, Your Honor, in regards to, we had already preserved our rights as the constitutionality challenge on a motion to quash on its face. But at this point, I would also assert to the judge constitutionally as applied. And now that we have the evidence in and the facts, I would like leave of the court to at least file that motion as applied and get a ruling and have a ruling that day.
That motion.
Well, so on a motion to quash, you can't do unconstitutional as applied. You have to wait until the judge.
No, I mean, what motion?
A motion objecting to the constitutionality on as applied. It's timely after there's been an adjudication of guilt. So I just want leave of the court to file that motion and get a ruling on it.
Oh, everybody can file whatever they want to file and I'll hear it.
Fair. Because I know right now we're talking about appeal, and I think you'll wait until after the sentencing to do the trial rights certification of appeal. Is that correct? So I just wanted to kind of give the court heads up as to the constitutionality as applied, that we're trying, or our intention is to preserve that. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right.
What date? All right, Ms. Abrams, is there any way to have this expedited before then?
Yes, sir. And I have at least 4 weeks.
All right. What date? In 4 weeks?
Are you asking me or?
Yes, what date?
October 28th.
All right, we'll be back on October 28th for sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, you entered a plea in this case, and the court has previously stated on the record what the plea bargain agreement consisted of. Where we left off, the court asked if all parties had a chance to review the PSI report. And defense, have you had a chance to review the PSI report?
I have.
State,
Yes, Your Honor.
any corrections to the PSI report?
I have no corrections to the PSI report. I do need to follow up on one thing after the statement.
All right, any corrections to the PSI report? All right, any witnesses from either side?
Yes, Your Honor. State has 3 witnesses.
All right,
So first, State calls Katherine Miller.
could you raise your right hand for me, please?
Sure.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Kateri Miller.
Do you have any training and experience relating to the discipline of animals?
Yes, as far as what could be acceptable or determined to be cruel treatment.
Are there preferred? I don't know. So with discipline, right, you said that there was acceptable. What is it? What does acceptable discipline mean?
Corrections that would not cause any physical harm to the animal.
So what would be an example of unacceptable discipline?
Excessively hitting your dog or cat or animal to punish it.
Generally speaking, in your training and experience, do discipline methods depend on the age of an animal? Or may they?
Potentially, younger animals that are in development are more susceptible to injury or so having even accidentally hit an animal could cause an injury or puppies or kittens, for example.
And then do methods of discipline depend on the size of the animal?
Not necessarily.
Officer Miller, how did you get involved in this case?
At the time of the incident, which was in January 17th, 2025, I was employed by the City of San Antonio's Animal Care Services as an animal cruelty investigator. I was working on a scheduled day of work when I received an email sent to the Cruelty Investigations Department containing a video which was linked to a report that was made through the city call center or 311.
Did you watch that video?
I did watch that video.
What did you observe in that video?
I observed a 45-second clip of a young adult female African-American woman on a balcony of a higher story multi-unit structure hitting a small breed or small breed size or sized dog multiple times with an object that appeared to be leash-like. In the video, the woman is seen striking at the dog 17 times, 15 of which while she was holding the canine, 2 of which were at the end whenever the canine had been released.
You said she was holding the canine. Could you tell where she was holding the canine?
It appeared in one part of the video to be by the canine's head or muzzle, which would be called the snout, as well as forelimbs. It was kind of hard to see exactly because there was a pop-up crate or carrier that obstructed some of the view.
Did you ever come into contact with this animal?
I did that evening, yes, ma'am.
Why did you come into contact with that animal?
So after I observed the video and I determined in my professional opinion as it being excessive and to be found to be animal cruelty, which is causing unjustifiable pain and suffering to a non-domestic animal, I went and obtained a warrant to remove the animal from the owners or the suspects.
So you removed from her custody and you came into contact with the animal. Can you please describe the size of the animal?
The size of the animal was very small. It was under 3 pounds at the time of the incident because we took it in for an examination that night. But it was very small, easily to be picked up.
Do you know the age of the animal?
I believe he was a 3-month-old miniature or toy poodle.
Generally, in your training and experience, are there behavioral manifestations exhibited by an animal when they're experiencing pain?
I'm sorry, could you ask the question again?
Of course. So in your training and experience, do animals manifest when they are experiencing pain?
Yes, they can.
How can they do that?
They can do it by crying out, limping, acting abnormally for that specific animal. But at the same time, they often mask pain as well. So you may not know that an animal is exhibiting pain all the time.
In the video that you observed, did you see any of these manifestations?
Yes, there were times in the video, for example, you could hear the puppy whimper and the woman in the video tell the dog to shut up. And then at the end, whenever they went to strike at the dog while it was loose, the dog screamed out as if it was in pain and fear.
So based on your investigation, did you develop an opinion as to whether the puppy in this case was tortured?
Yes, I did.
What is that opinion?
My opinion is that it was tortured. The individual was seen striking at the dog with a good amount of force, and in a 45-second time frame, 17 times. It was definitely excessive and appeared to be cruel.
I pass the witness.
All right, defense.
Yes, okay, Ms. Miller, or is it Miss Miller?
Yes.
And you stated that the discipline methods don't depend on size, correct?
I mean, not necessarily. I would say that that type of discipline against a larger dog would be unacceptable.
Okay, and so you would agree with me that you have knowledge of the law, right, in this particular statute, and that she has been charged with torturing non-livestock.
Correct.
Okay, but you also deal with livestock cases as well.
I've worked with livestock, wildlife, exotics. Yes, ma'am.
In livestock, the definition, the torture definition under livestock and non-livestock is the exact same. You can't, the definition is to not cause unjustifiable pain or suffering, correct?
Correct, but there are different acceptable means for livestock and domestic animals. Unfortunately, domestic animals are protected more.
Well, so the statute itself does not distinguish in regards to torture between livestock and non-livestock. The definition of torture is causing an animal unjustifiable pain.
Your Honor, I would object
suffering.
because that's not the verbatim statement of the law
That-
that she.
All right, so here's what I want to tell everybody. You all have entered into a plea bargain agreement. If questions are being asked to try this case, then you all should not have entered into a plea bargain agreement. And what I'm saying goes for both the state and the defense. Then you all shouldn't have entered into a plea bargain agreement. You all should have went to jury trial. If there is a foundation that somebody's trying to lay that this law may or may not be unconstitutional, that's not what the trial court hears. I don't hear whether a law is unconstitutional or not. You need to take that up to the appellate section and how the laws are written. My only job is to follow the law as written. And I want to remind both parties, I read the stipulations because I read the stipulations when y'all entered into the plea bargain agreement. I've seen the video. I've seen the video because y'all included in the stipulations. So I want everybody to understand, I remember what's in the stipulation. I remember what's in the video. So with that being said, go forth with your questions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
So my point is, though, that the definition is not different, correct? For livestock versus non-livestock.
They're just under different statutes. So I'm not sure what.
Okay, and so it's the same. So you would agree with me that there is, in your profession, you use this kind of personal decision on what is justifiable and unjustifiable, correct?
I use my expert opinion, not my personal. I don't include any of my bias. I looked at everything at an objective standpoint.
Okay, and you suggest that striking an animal 15 to 17 times, potentially, is torture, correct?
With force, yes.
Okay, and this was a flaccid leash that you observed, correct?
It's a leash-like item, yes.
Okay, and so you would agree with me that you don't go down to the racetrack and arrest people when they beat those horses in the races with a hard crop.
So what is
15
acceptable
times.
for horses and horse racing is not the same as what's acceptable for domesticated animals.
Okay, but that is not in the law, correct? The law doesn't say it's different, justifiable for a livestock as it is. There's a different definition. There's no different definition for torture.
I'm not sure how trying to justify that for this case or what the point is.
The point is that our society routinely,
All right, so let me stop everybody there. There needs to be question and answer. So if you can answer the question, please answer the question. If you cannot answer the question, then you cannot answer the question.
I'll ask the question. Sorry.
No problem.
You agree with me though that you don't arrest people at the racetrack when they are beating their horses with a hard crop, correct?
If there's no evidence that cruelty existed, no.
And have you ever arrested any of them? Have you ever seen a case where they've been arrested and charged with torture?
No, ma'am.
Now, let's talk about, you say that this was, you wrote a report and you did
your report contains that there was no bodily injury found to the animal, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And that just in case the animal was feeling pain, that they administered some, I guess it would be like Tylenol type substance to the dog.
It was chlorpropin, as Tylenol is toxic to dogs.
I apologize. It would have been some type of pain medication, despite the fact that you even indicated in your report, it was unclear whether the dog was in pain or not.
That's correct.
So, you would agree with me that when you show up to get the dog, from the residence of Miss Miller, that, the dog is, in a very nice little crate. Correct? It's the pop-up crate?
It was contained in the restroom, not inside of the crate.
Okay, but, clean area?
The area was clean.
Okay, pee pad was there?
Yes.
Toys?
I believe so. I can't recall.
And the dog's active and when you walk in?
Yes, correct.
And you would agree with me that in your report, and nor on the video camera, does it note any kind of concern with how the animal's walking?
I did not observe any abnormalities, no.
Okay. And the animal was happy to see you,
Yes.
allowed you to pick it up.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't indicate in your report that the animal was running from you or afraid of you?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, in regards to your report, you also put that it may have been struck. You could not tell if the dog was actually struck.
I could tell it was struck. I could not tell if it was struck every time that she struck at it.
Okay. So, there was on the 15 times that you claimed that she was holding the puppy or dog, that it was the view was obstructed, correct?
Some of it was, yes.
Okay. And during those 15 times, you couldn't tell if it actually ever made contact with the dog.
There are times that where you could see the leash-like item, you could see it strike in the area where the dog was at, and you could hear it make physical contact with something. So, I believe it's.
You believed it, but you don't know because you couldn't see it in the video. You're just jumping to that conclusion.
Not necessarily, no.
Well, you can't tell if it hit you would agree that the crate, there was a crate, there's a pop-up crate that was, that houses, it's like a kennel that was blocking the view of the dog.
In some of it, yes.
Okay, in the 15 times that you broke it up into 15 versus two additional times for a total of 17, right?
I can't say that it was fully obstructed for all 15.
Oh. I passed the witness.
Any further questions?
Not for this witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. You may be excused. State call your next witness.
State calls Reyna Rubio, excuse me.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, could you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
How did you become familiar with Thanos?
I had seen a video of, do you want me to state like the Facebook group and everything?
Just answer what's being asked of you and we'll break everything.
Okay. I was on Facebook and I had seen a video of Thanos getting struck again on his outside porch. And then that's how I came to know him.
Okay, so you said on Facebook, where was this video posted?
It was posted in the Doodles of San Antonio Facebook group.
Are you a member of that group?
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you a member of that group?
Just because I'm a dog groomer, so I get a lot of clients through that platform.
When you saw the video, did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
What did you observe in that video?
I observed.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this line of questioning and the relevance of this witness. We've already admitted the video. It's in the purview of the judge to review the video. She's no more qualified to review the video than the judge or the trier of fact.
All right, so what's your legal objection?
Is relevance.
Sustain.
Okay, Miss Rubio, did you ever come into contact with Miss Miller?
No, the only form that we spoke through was her Ring door camera, but I never saw her like face to face.
But you did communicate with her?
Yes, that's
Why
correct.
did you communicate with her?
I wanted to see if I could, I guess, take Thanos from her, buy him from her. And she actually did agree to that.
Did you offer her money for Thanos?
Yes.
How much did you offer her?
It was 300 at first. And then we agreed to that. And then she had given me her number, saying that she was at work and that she would, she asked me to text her. And once she got home, she would text me a time to meet up for me to adopt Thanos. She said she was at work, so she would let me know once she got home.
Do you recall the date that y'all communicated regarding the purchase of Thanos?
I think it was January 18th or 13th. I'm not sure. I know it was the beginning of January though.
So after y'all made this initial agreement, you stated you first offered $300, is that correct?
Yes, that's
And you
correct.
said that the price changed, is that also correct?
That is correct.
What did the price change to?
She said she had gotten Thanos for $1,000 and that he was an emotional support animal. And that he's updated on all his shots and everything. So she would take $750 minimum. And then so I said, let me see what I can do. And then so we agreed to that. But she had also stated that she had him posted on Craigslist for a while for $1,000.
And did you have the $1,000 to pay for the dog?
I did not.
So what did you do?
I had posted the video to my personal Facebook in hopes to raise money in order to get Thanos out of that home.
Did Miss
Didn't object to relevance.
Overruled.
Did Miss Miller ever ask you to take the post down?
Yes, she did. She said she would give me Thanos as long as if I took the post down.
Did you take the post down?
Once I did raise enough money, I did take it down. And then, it had gotten a lot of, I guess, a lot of people noticed it. And so a lot of other people were posting that video. And she would just wanted me to tell everyone to take it down.
And did you tell others to take the video down?
I didn't know anyone. There was a lot of random people posting it.
But did you know anybody that shared it personally?
Yes, not personally, but I know her. I work with her through a rescue. So, yes, I do. Just one.
So, okay, so my question is, of the people that you were aware of or had prior experience with, did you ask them to take posts down on Miss Miller's request?
Yes, I did.
At any point with your conversations with Miss Miller, did she ask you to stop contacting her?
Yes.
When did she ask you to do that?
It was after Thanos was picked up by the animal care services. Or actually it was before. She knew that animal care services was going to go pick up the dog.
Your Honor.
And she,
Objection,
Yes.
that she has no way of knowing
What's your legal objection?
that she has no personal knowledge of what someone else believes.
All right, and so your legal objection?
Um,
Is it hearsay?
hearsay,
Sustained?
sorry.
No problem. It happens.
Did you continue contacting Miss Miller after she asked you to stop?
no, but she had contacted me.
Did you continue posting about her and or Thanos after she asked you to cease communication?
No,
At any point, did Miss Miller inform you that she was being threatened as a result of this video?
yes.
What did you tell her in response to that?
I told her she could reach out to authorities if she really fears for her life, but I mean, it's honestly out of my control.
At any point, did you have malicious intent toward Miss Miller or her family?
No,
Did you wish ill will upon Miss Miller or her family?
no,
Did you agree with those that were threatening Miss Miller?
no,
So you thought it was unacceptable?
yes.
At any point with your conversations with Miss Miller, did she ask you not to involve the police?
Yes. She was, whenever we first spoke through the Ring camera, she initially said that the police had been there, checked on Thanos, and that he's okay. And I said, well, if I can't see that he's doing well and, that she would, if I can't see that he's doing well, then, I would have to call the police just to make sure that he's okay from that video I saw. And she said that she would sell me Thanos. She was very adamant about me not calling the police.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Yes, so you're telling that your testimony today is that you post a video to make money off of a video of a animal that you claim was being harmed?
Not claiming it. There was video proof, and it was to raise money to adopt Thanos since she raised the price.
And so, how much money did you make off this video?
I didn't take any money actually, since she went ahead and gave up on contacting me for Thanos. I didn't collect any, but there were people willing to donate.
So you just said your testimony was that you had raised enough money.
There were people willing to give me money if I had Thanos, which I never even saw him. So I did not attain any money.
And you claim that the reason that you took down the video was because Miss Miller asked you to, correct?
Yes.
So you were aware that the video that you posted, that people were saying stuff so heinously as she needs to be gang raped.
I was not aware of that comment on my post.
Or that she needed to be killed.
Yeah, I was not aware of that being commented on my post, although I can't control what other people say or do. Unfortunately, she decided to do this heinous act on her patio in public, and there's precautions for that, there's consequences for that.
And the point is, though, is that you were aware that these threats were being made to her, and you didn't take it down or try to diminish it at that point. It wasn't until you claimed you spoke to her and she asked you for her self-protection to take it down.
At the time, the first time, it was not for self-protection. She said, take it down. And this was before I was aware people were threatening her. She told me first to take it down because she didn't want it to get around because of her school and her job. She didn't want them to see it, and she would give me Thanos. So that's why I took it down.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any other questions?
No for this witness, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so
Call your
much.
next witness.
State calls Ethan Park.
Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You seem familiar with that now.
Yeah, what case is that?
That'll be the case that we're covering now, the animal cruelty case.
What was your role in that case?
I simply provided with transport.
Okay, and that was transport when?
On the day of the incident.
Do you recall who you transported that day?
Yes, ma'am. It was Miss Havanna Miller.
Is Miss Havanna Miller in the firm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in that case, you provided transport. You were in your patrol unit, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your patrol unit equipped with video capabilities?
Yes, ma'am.
To your knowledge, was it operational?
Yes, ma'am.
I hand you what will be marked as exhibit 2. This is a backseat. I hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 2. Do you recognize this?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you recognize it as?
It should be my dash cam.
To your
Patrol car.
to your patrol
Yes, ma'am.
unit, and this is the events of January 18th, 2025.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than to comply with the rules of evidence, has it been altered or amended in any way?
No, ma'am.
At this time, Judge State would offer this to defense for objection.
Your Honor, I don't object.
At this time, Judge,
And what is exhibit number is that?
number 2, Judge.
All right, state's exhibit number 2 is admitted without objection.
Officer Park, when you transport people, do they make conversation with you?
Most times, no.
That's fine, Sam.
Most times, no.
Your Honor, before that's played, can I take a witness on board IR to make sure that Miranda is, I was not aware that they were
Well,
introducing videos today, but I just need to make sure there's no Miranda objection.
well,
that would
you all
apply.
have already admitted it into the evidence, so it's in evidence.
But it hasn't been viewed, and I would like to ask the court's indulgence to at least take him on board IR to make sure that Miranda was read. And
Have you seen the video?
if I've seen, I didn't view it today, and I don't know, I don't believe Miranda.
And it has been, Miranda was issued by another officer that arrested her on the scene. He was merely the transporting officer to the magistrate's court.
If the state is representing that she's been Mirandized at this point, then I would draw my objection, but they're representing that since I was not aware we were doing videos today, I didn't go view any videos to make sure that what they're admitting is post Miranda.
All right. So you're withdrawing your objection?
If the state, are you saying that this is post Miranda?
Yes, this is
Okay.
post Miranda.
Okay, then Your Honor, I would draw my objection if it's post
All
Miranda.
right, state, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, could you pause for a minute? Could you pause for 1 minute?
Yes, Judge.
All right, everyone else, you need to be back here at 1:30. All right, you can continue.
Officer, what song was playing in your patrol unit on January 18th?
That was a hip hop song. It's called Gang Gang by the rapper Moneybagg Yo.
So with Miss,
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, you're okay. It's called Gang Gang. Is the song title.
it's just hard to hear with that. I realize that. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
No further questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Spence, state, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, that was Blacklist.
Spence, any witnesses?
Your Honor, at this time, I call Havanna Miller.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record, please.
Havanna Dejonet Miller.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
I asked you if there was anything that you wanted to say to the court before you were sentenced, and you said that what was your response to that?
There is that I do want to say something.
Okay, and this is your opportunity to speak to the judge. What would you like to say?
So, Your Honor, I would like to say that I completely understand that my actions were not okay. I did allow a moment of overwhelmed, being, frustrated to take over me. I do take this whole thing as a learning lesson, and I'm sorry that the puppy had to be part of this learning lesson, but I have learned to control myself, to have more patience. I'm sorry to everyone involved, including the puppy, even the people that have been against me in this, social media, the people that came in today. I'm sorry that they had to see that side of me, because I know that that's not who I am. And I'm sorry to my mom. I'm sorry to my family, my nieces and nephews that were threatened due to this. And I know that that's not something that I would ever do again. I'm not a troublemaker. I go to school, I go to work, and I spend time with my family. I'm not a danger to society. And again, I allowed a moment of frustration to take over me. And I'm sorry that I had to learn these things this way. It shouldn't have taken this. And I'm sorry that it did. And again, I'm sorry that the dog had to be part of this learning lesson for me.
Okay, and I'd also like to ask, you are employed right now, correct?
I am.
How many hours a week do you work?
Right now, I'm working 50 hours a week.
And in addition to being employed, are you going to school?
Yes, I am.
And what are you going to school for?
I just don't feel comfortable saying that only because of social media.
Okay,
But I would tell the judge, I could write it down.
no, it's okay. And in regards to that, are you currently taking classes?
I am.
Are you, the state has asked for jail sanction. You're aware of that? And, in regards to that jail sanction, is there a reason why you do not think that would be appropriate here? Okay, and why is that?
Because like I said, I have learned this would be a major setback for me. I get all A's. I get A+. I have a 4.0 GPA. It would set me back on something that I know that I'm not going to cause trouble. I'm not going to cause trouble to anyone. And it would also set me back with my job. I need my job to pay for my school. So it would just set me back, and I'm not a danger to anyone.
And at this time, I'm going to pass the witness, Shauna.
I have no questions for Ms. Miller, Judge.
I do.
Yes.
So, do you currently own any pets?
No, ma'am.
So tell me, what was going on in your life at that time that it came to this point?
At that time, and still to this day, I have been grieving. I'm grieving my dad.
Mhm.
It's hard for me to talk about it and hold it in a lot. And again, that doesn't give me a reason to do that to the puppy.
Mhm.
But I did allow it to take over me. I had been up all night, but trying to potty training, and I had got up again early that morning, and it just at that time, that's what was really, really heavy on my mind. Of course, there's other things, but that's the main thing.
So did your father pass before or after you purchased this animal?
Before.
All right, so he passed before, and you decide to take on a pet in your life. So I don't understand how you get to the point where you're hitting a puppy
Mhm.
with a belt or a strap. I don't understand how you go from that to this, and it's a puppy.
Right.
And when puppies use the restroom inside the house, you know whose fault that is?
It's mine, but that was not the case.
So then why were you being frustrated with?
I was frustrated that morning because I had taken him out to use the restroom,
Mhm.
and it was really cold. Again, this is not his fault; it's mine. But he was doing that thing that dogs do, like when you're trying to get them, they're not ready to go inside, and he kept running away every time I would go towards him, running away and playing around. And I was personally not in a play mood, and I took him upstairs. That's not when that happened. But then I was trying to leash train him, getting used to his leash. And I saw online that to leash train him, you can put the harness on them, put the leash on the door, so that way they can get used to it. Of course, giving them room to still walk, but right there. And I guess he had got frustrated with that, and he did do that, and that was what caused me to do that. Again, it's not a justifiable reason.
So why did you have him? How long did you have him
It was
on the
only-
leash on the door?
It was only about 30 minutes at that time.
And so you didn't notice that he was biting through the leash?
No, ma'am, because I was inside and he was on the balcony.
All right, so outside on the balcony, biting through his leash
His harness, yes, ma'am.
and his harness. I still don't understand how you go from that to striking a puppy.
Just allow.
And so I'm trying to understand how you get to that point. First, you've taken on a puppy. Your father, as you stated, had already passed, but you decided to take this puppy on into your home.
Mhm.
And then we get to a point where you're striking a puppy on the balcony. I'm trying to figure out how you get to that point, because puppies are going to do what puppies do. And when puppies come to you, if they're puppies, right, depending how soon they were taken away from their mothers, usually they come to you and they're not trained. So you took on a puppy that wasn't trained. I still don't understand how you get to the puppy bites through the leash, and you're saying it took 30 minutes for him to bite through the leash. So you had the puppy outside on the balcony in the cold, because you said it was cold outside, strapped by a leash,
But-
and he bites through the leash. So I'm trying to understand. Because I will tell everybody, I'm inclined to follow the agreement that you've reached, Now I'm trying to consider, because the state is asking for jail time. So I'm trying to weigh things here, because my intention, if I'm placing somebody on probation, I'm not trying to ruin their life where they can't go to school or they lose their job. But rehabilitation sometimes is just not rehabilitation. Sometimes it's punishment thrown in, right? And it appears that your punishment may be, the fact that you're on probation. And I have to make a consideration whether I give you deferred or give you a conviction. All right. So that's what I'm trying to understand. How did you get to that point? Because you're saying it's cold outside, but you have a puppy on the balcony. And how big was this puppy? Is it one of those puppies that sit in your hand?
He wasn't that small, but like they said, he was about 3 pounds.
All right. So how small?
He was like,
All right. So you have a puppy who's sitting on the balcony in the cold, strapped to a door or whatever, because you say you're trying to teach him how to be on a leash.
again, I got that from online. It wasn't punishment. I was genuinely.
Oh, no, I understand you're saying you got that online, but I'm trying to get to the point of you place him on the balcony. He's been running outside playing around. You don't have time to play. You got other things on your mind. You just want that puppy. Do your business for the love of all that's holy. And I'm taking you inside. And I don't know, maybe puppy's yapping around in the house. And then you're like, you know what? Go out on the balcony, learn to be on a leash.
So outside on the balcony, I did have his crate with blankets. Whenever I would go out there, he felt warm. He wasn't shivering or anything.
Mhm.
But to answer your question, Your Honor, getting to that point, I would just felt overstimulated. I felt frustrated. And I just, at that point, I just let my emotions get the best of me at that point. I do feel that from January to now, I have changed. I'm not saying I'm a completely new person just yet, but I have learned to control my emotions better. Don't just get angry so quickly, or, actually speak about what's going on in my mind. So that way I don't hold it in and things like that happen where I lash out. And I allowed that to happen.
All right. And what is this about the witnesses testifying that they wanted to buy the dog from you and then you're increasing the price? What's that about?
So that was because when she came to my door on the Ring doorbell, I did say, as she said, that 2 cops had already came and checked on the dog and he was completely fine. She mentioned, well, I don't feel comfortable. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight if you don't give me the dog. And I'm saying, basically, that's my dog. I don't have to give you the dog just because you want my dog. And so long story short, I was, frightened by the fact that she was threatening with the police. So I said, okay, well, if you don't get police involved, because I knew she had a video and she had it posted on her Facebook. At the time, I didn't know it was her Facebook. She just told me that she saw it on this neighborhood website or neighborhood app. And she told me that she saw the video online. I was asking, well, how did you even find me? And she said that she looked at the balconies and she did see the dog out there on the balcony.
Let's get to the money, the exchanging of money or not exchanging of money.
The money part.
The witness testified, and
Right.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I recall the witness testifying that you all had maybe agreed on a price. Then after you agreed on the price, then you upped the price. And then
Yes.
she said she had to post some video in order to raise funds so that she could purchase the dog. So let's
Yes.
talk about that.
Okay, that did happen. And she did offer me $300 because, like I said, I was frightened that the police were going to come. So I was willing at that point to do that. But then I thought about it and I said, I didn't want to just give up my dog. I did love my dog. And
So then why did you increase the price?
because I felt that if I had paid $1,000 just to get him, I had done the shots and everything for him. He was up to date on everything. I had bought him, all the supplies that he needed at home, food, things like that. So I just felt if she really wanted the dog, then she could at least pay the minimum price of him, which was $1,000 to get him.
All right. And did you talk to family members about what was going on in regards to this case and what was going on in your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell them, hey, I need some help? Can anybody take the dog?
No, I did not. I don't have people that I believe would have been willing to do that at the time.
All right. Any other questions?
A couple of follow-up questions.
Sure.
Okay, your dad, you say passed away after you got the dog? Before, how long before?
2 years.
2 years, okay.
There, not even like almost 2 years at that time.
Do you know what the date was that he passed away?
He passed away June 17th of 2022. No,
Of
yeah,
2023?
June 17th of 2023. Sorry, it was because he was brain dead and then they donated his parts, so he wasn't actually dead.
Okay, and so, did you adopt the dog or get the dog as a way to cope with any kind of mental health issues?
I did, yes.
And during this time period, were you getting much sleep when you had the dog?
I wasn't.
How long did you have the dog?
About a month or 2 months.
Okay, and so you were a month or two with no sleep, correct?
Mhm.
At this time. Do you think that your lack of sleep and your mental health situation put you in a position to not use better judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I pass the witness.
All right. So I can tell you your versions of events, and I understand what you're saying, and maybe you just skipped over a little bit. In the PSI, your versions of events are, I was tired and let my emotions get the best of me. I was at home at the apartment. I had just been up early as I had a late night. I was trying to potty train a pet that was involved in this case. I saw the dog's harness. I got them. I had taken them out and they didn't go. They had an accident. I got upset as the new harness was chewed up. All right. Is there any other questions? Any other witnesses?
I don't have any other questions.
All right. I'll have you all come back at 1:30 and I'll make my decision at that time.
Okay.
All right. Thank
And,
you.
Your Honor, I would like to, at least have an opportunity to make a close.
No, you all will have an
Okay,
opportunity.
thank you.
Thank you. State versus Dejonet Miller, Havanna. Can I have parties reannounced, please? All right. Court will hear brief argument.
Thank you. Your Honor, first off,
Yes.
Judge, I'll reserve,
All right.
First off, we're not condoning the behavior, but I think we need to keep it in perspective. I understand that a video caused sensational backlash, but the reality is there's no visible injuries to the dog. The dog was not physically maimed in any way. And when you think about that, in our justice system, we don't really honor an eye for an eye.
Mhm.
But in this case, probably the more appropriate punishment, in addition to having been humiliated socially. And that is a huge thing. This has been a very difficult situation for her to live through, being threatened and all of that. But, it's a flaccid leash. And when I went to high school, they did corporate punishment. I don't see, if this is so egregious, then the punishment really should match the crime and have her ordered to be struck 17 times with the same leash that she struck the dog with. That's more appropriate. But I disagree with the fact that the state is asking for a jail sanction here. This young lady has no prior criminal history. She got straight A's. She is employed. And again, like I said, neither she nor I are condoning her behavior. Where she's taking responsibility for it, but it needs to be kept in perspective in regards to her being a first-time offender. No rehabilitation or mental health has been given to her at this stage. So I believe that would be appropriate. I am asking the court to consider the fact that torture, while the court has found that it is sufficiently met, the elements sufficiently met here, there is no lesser included, and it doesn't even require bodily injury. So on the scale of this particular type of offense and the things that we see in our practice, you and I have, I think, been doing this for over 20 years. you know, we have seen egregious cases that fall on the scale that are very offensive. And while this is not something that we condone, I do not think it falls on the extreme of this type of offense, even if the court believes the elements were met. I am asking the court to grant her deferred adjudication, give her the ability to prove herself. I believe that with no prior criminal history, we shouldn't jump into any kind of jail time or prison time for that matter. And I'm asking that the court order anger management and all the things that the pre-sentence investigation we're talking about, with the exception of a jail sanction. I also want to point out that in the pre-sentence investigation, she stated that the way that she was raised was discipline was love. It was synonymous, that if you weren't disciplined, you weren't loved. And I'm not saying that, again, no one's trying to excuse the behavior, but I think that's an educational thing. She was treated the same way growing up, and it's something that we do need as a society address, and some of maybe the way we see things, and maybe even the way that society sees things and does things openly, and does it and is condoning openly to animals. Like, for instance, shock collars that are sold. You know, there's things that our society accepts, and while I'm not saying that what she did is acceptable, I just don't think it rises to the level of being as egregious as it may have appear on the video, based off of the actual result. And I believe this is a result-oriented crime. And so we're asking the court to give community deferred adjudication.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, State.
Your Honor, state is asking for community supervision and with the 180-day jail sanction based on the fact this is an egregious act. Thanos was a 3-month-old puppy that was defenseless, and although he's not verbal, cannot speak with words, that video speaks for itself. He was yelping in pain as she struck him what appeared to be 17 times while muzzling his mouth, presumably to keep him from making sound. Ms. Miller testified here today that it was cold outside and he initially was outside for leash training. When she came into the presence of officers, she told them he was outside because he had soiled in his kennel. She told you today in court that he was out there with blankets, but as you can see in the videos, that's not the case. She initially lied to officers during the welfare check. She said nothing was wrong and that others had dogs in the unit, knowing full well that she had just struck Thanos and that the officers were aware of the fact that she had done that because they saw the video prior to making contact with her. Her acts were callous. He was muzzled and she struck him. He got away and she continued to hit him. Defense would have the court believe that not all 17 blows were to Thanos, and she mentioned the pop-up kennel. However, in the video, you can see that pop-up temporary kennel wasn't moving as if she was hitting that kennel instead of the dog. She then agreed to sell the dog to Miss Rubio. First, the price was $300, then it went up and up again once she realized that it would be an inconvenience for her to not break even. And I would assert inconvenience would be a theme here today. Miss Miller states that she cannot do a jail sanction because it would be an inconvenience to work. It would be an inconvenience to her life, but that inconvenience should have been thought of prior to even getting the dog for ownership. She testified that unfortunately her father passed away in 2023, but this incident would occur a year and 6 months later, approximately. Pet ownership is very important. Judge, we need to afford animals that cannot speak for themselves and all things that can't speak for themselves great protection. And so we would ask that you do community supervision, even in transport with Officer Park. She was making light of the situation, stating she would remember that song for the rest of her life. But I would urge this court to show Miss Miller that she shouldn't remember the song that was playing during transport, but rather she should remember the cries of Thanos while she was beating him 17 times. Because of this, Judge, we would ask that you consider the totality of the evidence presented to you and sentence her to community supervision for 10 years, as well as allowing no pets, anger management, the pause course, and 108 days jail.
All right. So this is what I'm going to tell you. When I have cases before me, I look at each case individually, right? Because somebody will come before me, and I've had people argue before me. oh, there's somebody who had an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon where they shot somebody, they got probation, didn't get jail time. So I always try to remind people that each case is different. That's why I look at cases individually. I don't try to figure out, oh, this is what happened in this case, or this is what happened in this case. I just have to deal with the facts that are before me, right? And I understand everything that your attorney said. I understand that you don't have any criminal history. I'm going to give you a choice. Sometimes I can give people choices, sometimes I can't. But these are your only choices. And I'm going to give you a chance to discuss it with your attorney before you decide. All right. So here's your choice. One, I will either give you deferred adjudication, and I will give you deferred adjudication. I don't think 10 years deferred. I'll give you 8 years deferred adjudication. Or with that deferred adjudication, you're going to do some jail time. Or you will have a conviction and I won't give you any jail time, because sometimes, well, not sometimes, really all of the time, cases are about rehabilitation, but there's a form of punishment in it. So your only choices are, I'll give you deferred adjudication, but you'll do some jail time as a condition, or either you'll have a conviction and you won't have any jail time as a condition. I'll give you a chance to discuss that with your attorney.
Thank you.